Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a full body flow, so find some space to move and let's get started. So we will begin today just sitting down. Now if you can sit cross-legged, you can start with your legs crossed one way. And if that doesn't feel good for you, sit however you want to sit. But you might place your hands on your knees or in your lap as well. Close your eyes and let's take a slow, deep breath in. And let it go. And do that again. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in as you lengthen throughout your spine. And let it all go. And one more nice deep breath in and deep breath out. Now you might stay seated tall, or you might start to lean forwards with the chest, and maybe your hands can come to the ground out a little wider than the knees, maybe the fingertips, just to keep you level, to let you tip forwards nice and slow. And just notice the ankles, the legs, the hips. Even notice your low back. And if you are leaning forward, just use an inhale and a press into the hands to slowly lift. Lift back up until you're sitting tall again. We can cross our legs the other way, or you can stay seated as you are. But your hands might find the knees, the lap. Close your eyes if they opened on you. And a slow, deep breath in. Press the ground away as you lengthen your spine. Let that breath go. And take another slow, deep breath in. And out. And then one more. The deepest breath you've taken all day. Fill your body up with air. And then let it go. And one more chance just to stay seated tall or to start to lean forwards and maybe bringing the hands to the ground. Slowly tipping if your body allows you to. It feels good to. Then again, just notice the ankles, the hips, the low back. And if you are leaning forward, just using an inhale to lift again. Your hands might come back to the knees, to the lap, but sit tall. Lengthen your spine more. And if your eyes happen to be closed still, you can open them up whenever you're ready. We're going to move though. You might first give the knees a little bit of a hug. We're going to be coming into tabletop onto our hands and knees. But take your time. Come on over. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Once you get there, maybe give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side too. Then with a big inhale, start to drop your belly down. Lift your chest and maybe the chin. Push into the palms, straighten the arm. Drop the belly down as you arch through the back a little bit. Stay for an inhale, and then as you exhale, round. Lift your belly button up, tuck your chin, look to the knees, or maybe try to peek at the belly button. Push into your hands though, try to pull the shoulder blades apart. Nice big inhale to drop back down. Just do a nice flat back. Tuck your toes and lift your knees into your downward facing dog. Now you might pedal the feet a few times. Lift and lower the heel. Bend and straighten the knees. But take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Press into the hands. With the next inhale you take, you can look forwards. And exhale, walking on up to the top of your mat. Take as many steps as you would like, but once you get there, inhale into a half lift. Lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Exhale, folding forwards. Let an inhale bring you all the way up to standing. You can reach your arms up, maybe even look up. And exhale, lower your arms down to your sides and take a shoulder roll if you want one. And inhale as you reach up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides, a shoulder roll if you want one, and an inhale to reach up. Exhale, let's fold forwards. Inhale, lift your chest halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, lower your arms to your side. Take a shoulder roll, spread your fingers wide, and then inhale to reach back up and exhale to fold forwards. So you inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, fold. We're going to plant our hands and take both feet back and into downward facing dog. So press into your hands, send your hips nice and high. Maybe even try to float your toes for a moment. But you could still pedal the feet, trying to lift the toes at the same time. Take a nice big inhale though. As you exhale, let's lower our knees down to the mat, tabletop. You can rest on the top of the feet or keep the toes tucked under, but start to sway forwards and back. Now, if you do want to tuck your toes under, you might feel a little stretch through the toes as you send your hips back towards the heel. You might feel the wrists as you bring the shoulders forward. But if you come forwards and the shoulders come past the fingertips, start to bend your elbows, squeeze them to your sides and lower your chest, your chin. And then lift back up, squeeze your elbows into your sides and send the hips back towards the heels. And then lift back up just to tabletop and tuck the toes if they aren't already so that you can lift all the way up and into your downward facing dog. Take a nice big inhale to look forwards, and as you exhale, walk the feet to the top of your mat. Inhale into a half lift. Once you get there, exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides, a shoulder roll if you want one. Inhale to reach back up, and exhale to fold. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale, fold forwards, plant the hands, step all the way back into your downward facing dog. Notice your toes. Can you float them? Can you still pedal the feet a little bit with them floating? Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, our knees are coming down to our tabletop, where maybe the toes are still tucked, and you're just going to start to sway forwards and back. Press into the palms. If you come forward so far that you want to bend the elbows and lower the chest, the chin, a little tricep push-up. Lift back up though, send the hips back towards the heels, and then find your tabletop again. Tuck the toes if they're not already, and lift your knees up. Downward facing dog. Take a nice big inhale here. Let's look forwards, and as you exhale, walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhaling into a half lift once you get there. Exhale as you fold down. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Take a shoulder roll if you want one. And an inhale to reach up. As you exhale, we're going to fold. Inhale into a half lift. And exhale, fold. Now plant your hands and take just your left foot back. Set up a lunge. If you want to lower your knee, you can lower your knee, or you can keep it lifted. We might get a little bit lighter through our hands though. Let's keep our chest down, maybe touching the knee. Look to your big toe and maybe get a little bit lighter through the hands. press into your feet. Maybe your hands end up by the shoulders. Maybe they end up by the hips, palms up, fingers pointing behind you. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands down if they're lifted. Bring your knee down too if it's lifted. Flip to the top of the back foot. We're going to heel toe the right foot over to the side and set up for our lizard lunge. So sink into the hips. Your right knee or right foot will be out to the side. And then sinking into the hips. Your left hand can move out to the edge of the mat too. And maybe as you inhale, you'll start to turn and open up to the right side for a twist. Maybe reaching up, maybe looking up. Now, if your back foot does happen to want to float, you might give that glute a squeeze and maybe try to touch the foot. Maybe not. But give that glute a squeeze so that as you let go, you can slowly, slowly bring the foot down and maybe reach up a little bit more. Take another inhale. As you exhale, come on down. Plant the hands under the shoulders. You can heel toe your foot to the middle of your mat. Maybe tuck the back toes and lift it up. Lift the knee up. Inhale to gaze forwards and exhale. Bring your back foot to the top. Take an inhale for a half lift. Exhale to fold, planting the hands and the right foot's coming back, setting up your lunge. So knee down if you want it, but find your balance. Look at your big toe, chest low, stay low. The hands can float if they want to. Maybe it's one, the other. Press into the feet, strong through the legs. If the hands want to go by the hips, palms up. Point those fingers back, a little drop of the shoulders from the ears. Stay for a big inhale. And then exhale to lower the hands, lower the knee, flip to the top of the back foot, and then heel toe over. Foot to the left side of the mat, hands under the shoulders to sink into the hips. And then maybe your right hand will go to the edge of the mat too. You can open it up, twist, reach to the left, all the while sinking into the hips. And then maybe start to squeeze that back glute. See if the foot wants to lift. Maybe you hold it for a moment, but still squeeze. And then gentle as you slowly bring that foot down and maybe take another reach up. One last inhale, and as you exhale, bring your hands down, heel toe your foot all the way back in. Tuck the toes, maybe lift your back knee up, but an inhale to look forwards a bit, and exhale, bring your back foot up to the top. Inhale into a half lift from here. Exhale to fold forwards. Plant the hands. Step your feet back all the way into your downward dog. Maybe try to lift your toes. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's lower our knees down to our tabletop. Your toes might stay tucked under as you send the hips back. And then those shoulders forwards. Now we're going to lower onto our tummies, but if you want to slowly lower, hug the elbows, bend the elbows, and lower your chest and lower your chin. And then slide onto your belly. And maybe add a shoulder roll in once you get down. On your belly, but the chest still a little bit lifted. And just try to roll your shoulders back and down. If your toes are still tucked under, flip to the top of the feet. Can you take a shoulder roll here? A little squeeze of the glutes, squeeze of the back to get a little lighter through the hands. Maybe the hands are by the shoulders. Maybe the hands are by the hips, palms up, fingers pointing behind you. But a little lift of the chest. If you're looking forwards a lot, just look down a little bit. Try to keep the neck happy. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the back, even draw the belly button in too. A nice big inhale. Then as you exhale, bring your hands under the forehead and relax completely. Maybe take a sway of the hips. or just be still. Slow down. And when you're feeling good, we'll bring our hands under the shoulders. We'll push ourselves up onto our knees. And then we're going to stay here for a second in tabletop. A few options, a few opportunities. You might cross your ankles, the left ankle over top of the right one. You might keep the ankles crossed and try to widen the knees. If you don't want to cross your ankles, you can have your big toes together, widen the knees, maybe the ankles are crossed. Now we're just going to be sending the hips back towards the heels. Your ankles might be crossed. They might not be crossed. Might feel like child's pose if your ankles are not crossed. If you do have your ankles crossed, you might try to sit all the way down, or if you're in child's pose, you might just sit on the heels, and then you're just going to tip yourself back and kind of crawl forwards, and you're going to cross your ankles the other way and see how this side feels. Sometimes we have one side that's a lot different, fun, a little more fun than the other side. So you can slowly try to sit back, see what happens, see how it goes, and then just tip yourself forwards, crawl forwards, and uncross if you are crossing them. Bring your knees in a touch if you brought them out wide. Give the hips a little bit of a sway side to side if you'd like. But then you can sit. You can sit with your legs in front and give the knees a hug or a squeeze, maybe a rock side to side too. Just scan your body. Notice your ankles, your hips, your low back. And when you're ready to lay down, you can find your way. Maybe hugging the knees to the chest. Maybe keeping the feet on the ground. But you can add a sway side to side if it feels good. Give your back a massage against the ground. You have your feet lifted. You can stay lifted as the knees widen. You can make your diamond shape with the feet on the ground too. Or maybe this is more like a reclined child's pose. If your feet are floating, the big toes could touch, the knees wide. Just a gentle press of the low back down. Starting to slow everything down. You might guide the knees back together and bring your feet to the ground if they're lifted. You can send your legs long though, feet wide. Maybe turning your palms to face up. Feel your body against the ground. Your Shavasana. Stay here for as long as you have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy your day. And until next time, namaste.